we usually jump to the same conclusion. If someone says they love us, but also says they don't think we should be together, they must be lying. Because in our minds, love is supposed to be simple and absolute, something that doesn't hesitate or second-guess itself. If it's real, we believe, it pushes through everything, no matter how hard it gets. You either love someone enough to fight for them until the end, or you don't really love them and should just walk away. In that mindset, there's no middle ground and no real third option. Anything that sounds like love but doesn't lead to being together feels fake, like an excuse or a form of deception. Underneath that belief sits a very romantic idea of love, one that insists real love has nothing to do with real life. No money, no timing, no logistics, no consequences are supposed to matter when love is true. That's the kind of thinking captured by Lawrence when he wrote that a man in love would be willing to sleep on a park bench for the rest of his life for the woman he loves. Once you accept that idea, everything else follows naturally. Kids from a previous relationship, love will handle it. No money, love will figure it out. Living in different countries, mental health struggles, cultural differences, completely opposite long-term goals, somehow, love is still expected to win anyway. But there's another way of thinking about love, one that's quieter, less dramatic, and far less celebrated. This perspective doesn't deny emotions or dismiss them as unimportant. It respects them deeply, but it also respects reality. It understands that no matter how kind or sincere our feelings are, they don't automatically erase real pressures, like social judgment, disapproving families, friend groups pulling in opposite directions, clashing values, long-distance situations that never really end, life stages that don't line up, constant stress, or, yes, even park benches. And that raises a hard question. If love is ultimately about caring for someone and wanting their life to be better, should we still call it love if staying with us traps them in a series of avoidable struggles? Are we truly so perfectly matched to them that the suffering our presence causes is justified? Or is what we call love sometimes less about what actually helps them grow and thrive, and more about what we want for ourselves? Of course, some people do lie. Some people wrap their desire to leave in the language of sacrifice and generosity, even when it's really about escape. That happens. But there are also people who genuinely love someone and still choose to walk away. Quietly, without praise, without being understood. They give up the relationship not because they don't care, but because they care enough to stop taking more of the other person's time. Doing everything you can to be with someone can be deeply moving and honorable. It looks like devotion and often feels heroic. But sometimes, the deeper form of love is this: loving someone fully, recognizing the cost of staying, and choosing to step aside before causing them more harm. That kind of love isn't loud and doesn't look especially romantic. But in some cases, it's the most honest love there is.